people. He has been on fire. Welcome to week 12 of Kleschka Picks. Let's get into it. Okay, everybody, let's get started with the Thursday game, Colts and Texans. Jacoby Brissett returned last week for the Colts, and he got the victory over the Jaguars. And the Texans, did they really even play last week? Lamar Jackson owned that game. Deshaun Watson was nowhere to be seen. The offense was nowhere to be seen in a game that a lot of people thought would be epic and maybe have a shootout. It definitely did not. It was definitely all Ravens. Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson, that entire offense did very well. And this week, I don't see Deshaun Watson having 2 weeks like this in a row. I think he will be competitive. I think the Colts are also a very tough team. We've seen it this year. They've given plenty of teams a tough competition, but I think Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Carlos Hyde, and that offense will get the job done over the Colts. I think they will win 24-20. Seahawks and Eagles. My Seahawks were on a bye week last week, and the Eagles had a Super Bowl rematch with Tom Brady and the Patriots, and they lost. But it was very close, very close. You had Nelson Aguilar, he was going deep. Last play of the game, if he catches this touchdown, then it's tied and they go to overtime, and he didn't catch it. So the Patriots won. And the Seahawks, they got newly acquired Josh Gordon for the 49ers game. They had the bye week. Russell Wilson is performing like an MVP. If our running backs could stop fumbling the football, that'd be fantastic. We got great players on defense like Jadeveon Clowney, Bobby Wagner. So I think we're looking solid. This Eagles team has been such a roller coaster, so I think the Seahawks will win 31-17. Giants and Bears. The Giants are looking good because they're getting their full offense back. Daniel Jones has been a solid quarterback. Saquon Barkley's back. Evan Ingram's back. And it's looking like Sterling Shepard will return this week as well. The Giants, I'm trying to remember what they did last week. I'm so sorry. I'm blanking right now. But the Bears, they played the Rams, and Mitch Trubisky can just not find his stride. This dude is not looking confident. He's not playing to the level that the Bears are hoping he would perform, and I think this is going to be a good week for the Giants. The Giants, like I said, they're getting their offense back. They're returning to form, it looks like, and with all the weapons, how could Daniel Jones fail? He can rely on the run game with Barkley back there, and he got great passing options that are ready to catch some footballs. So I think the Bears defense is going to be going down on the roller coaster once again, and I think the Giants are going to win this week 20-10. Dolphins and Browns. Hey, what's that? Let's start with the Browns. They beat the Steelers last week, and that was going to be the huge story. They won. They were the underdog. The Steelers looked like they were the ones that would win that game, but I can't ignore the elephant in the room. Myles Garrett, dude, absolutely snapped at the end of that game. He got a sack on Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph was like grabbing under his face mask or his guard or something, but nothing like too bad. Nothing bad at all. And then Myles Garrett just gets up, grabs his face mask, tears the helmet off of Mason Rudolph's head, and then Mason Rudolph, obviously upset by that, chases after him, and Myles Garrett's being pushed back, and he just goes boom right on Mason Rudolph's head. I can't believe he did that. He is suspended for the end of the season, and if the Browns were to make playoffs, which probably won't happen, then he'd be suspended for playoffs too. And right now he's trying to appeal this, and he snapped. I don't know what happened. Tons of people were saying this isn't like him, so I don't know. Myles Garrett, you messed up, dude. You messed up. And then a few more people got suspended as well. One of the offensive linemen for the Steelers, because he was like full on kicking Myles Garrett in the helmet. So it was just madness. And there were only 8 seconds left in the game. You got to control that. With that much time left and your team's about to get the victory, you cannot let that happen. Now, let's go to the Dolphins. The Dolphins, they beat the Bills. Dolphins lost to the Bills. And the Bills offense almost got 40 points on them, so the Bills pretty much had it the entire way, even though they gave up 20. But hey, they almost doubled the score of the Dolphins, so they are looking fine. And this week they got Cleveland without Myles Garrett. And without all this drama, I really feel like it's going to affect the Browns. I feel like this is a good week for Miami to get a victory coming off of that, because they're going to be rattled. The Browns are not going to be able to focus. They're going to have to hear about this all the time. This is their teammate that did this, and it's going to affect the team, I feel like. And Miami has not been looking exactly terrible in the past couple weeks. They actually got a win. I thought they were going to go winless this season, but I think Miami will beat Cleveland 23-17. Steelers and Bengals. Steelers were the victims of that Myles Garrett helmet hit, and then you had the Bengals who lost to the Raiders. The Bengals are still winless, and I am predicting that they will go winless this season. It's looking bad for them. Andy Dalton's not their quarterback. They benched him. They got the backup, and the Steelers, they got tons of injuries. James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster. There's another receiver whose name I cannot remember right now. But the Steelers are plagued with injuries, but the Bengals are so bad. But it's really, it's tough. The Steelers being the victim of that. But I still think the Steelers are the better team, even with all the injuries and after that huge fight last week. I still think the Steelers will win 27-14. Broncos and Bills. The Broncos almost upset the Vikings last week. They almost came back. It came down to the last play. Just dropping back. They're right at the goal line. They're in the red zone. And he goes to pass, and dude can't catch it. Therefore, Vikings win, completing the comeback for the Vikings. And they got the Bills, who, like I said, they beat the Dolphins. They almost doubled the Dolphins' score. But this week, I think the Bills defense is going to step up even more. I think it's going to look even better. This is a tough defense for the Broncos quarterback to handle, and they don't really got a lot of weapons there in Denver. And the Bills, they could, you could say they don't have weapons either, but, you know, they step up. You got John Brown, who's looking very solid for the Bills this season. And I think this is going to be a game that the Bills will end up winning. I think the Bills will win 26-15. Saints and Panthers. Saints got the victory over Tampa Bay last week. They were making Jameis Winston turn it over all game. What's new? And then you got the Panthers, who lost to the Falcons, and the Falcons are actually looking like the Falcons they should be. And now we got Carolina facing the Saints. The Saints are very good this season. Drew Brees is obviously a veteran quarterback. He's going to do very well. He's seasoned. He knows how the league works. He's got weapons like Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. The offense is in full force now. You can use Taysom Hill pretty much anywhere. The defense is performing solid. They're looking good. And then you got the Panthers, who really rely on Christian McCaffrey pretty much the entire game. Kyle Allen has not been like disappointing in Cam Newton's benching and his foot injury. So I think it'll be a close-ish game. I think the Saints will come out on top, though. I think they're the better team easily. I think they will win 30-20. Falcons and Buccaneers. The Falcons, like I said, they actually looked somewhat good last week. They had all their players pretty much lighting it up and doing what they should be doing. And then you got the Buccaneers where, like I said, Jameis Winston turning over the ball too much will result in a loss and cause the rest of the team to just go downhill with you. So it was a tough one for the Buccaneers, and I think the Falcons offense, with all this confidence, I think it's going to carry into this week. I think they're going to realize we are so much better than we've been performing, and I think that will continue for them. So I think the Falcons will win 24-13. Jets and Raiders. The Jets got a win over the Redskins last week, which really isn't very impressive. And then you had the Raiders, who beat the Bengals. The Raiders are looking solid this season. They are fighting for a playoff spot. They're trying to get every win they can. And the Jets, it's just been like, yo, we beat the Cowboys. Are we going to improve off of that? Or are we going to continue to ride good? And then they went straight back down. Sam Darnold, he's had his great games and he's had his really bad games this season. And I think the Raiders are going to be a tough opponent for him. I think Derek Carr is going to have enough confidence and enough skill to get past this Jets team. Josh Jacobs has been a solid young running back for them this season. So I think the Raiders will beat the Jets 23-13. Lions and Redskins. Lions lost to the Cowboys last week in their home, and the Redskins lost to the Jets in their home as well. Matthew Stafford is pretty much done for season with a back injury. He's going to be out for at least 6 weeks. And then you have the Redskins, who are really just trying to play for pride at this point. It's been a tough season for them. They've had quarterback change, coaching change, just tons of change, and with all that change, it's hard to focus. It's hard to go for that ultimate goal in the Super Bowl when you have so many problems coming at the team all at once. So I think the Lions, even though they don't have Matthew Stafford, they still have a great receiving core who can be relied on no matter who the quarterback is. I think that receiving core can step up and lead the team. So I think the Lions, against a lackluster Redskins team, will win 27-13. Jaguars and Titans. The Titans were on a bye week last week. The Jaguars played the Colts and they lost. That was also Nick Foles' return. So Nick Foles, he's going at it again. And the Titans, they've been impressive at times. Derrick Henry has been hot lately, but who knows if this bye week will help him or cool him down. Then the Jaguars. Nick Foles taking over Minshew Mania. That really could come back in any moment. Depends on how Nick Foles goes throughout the season. And I feel like the Titans are riding a pretty good confidence streak right now. Derrick Henry, like I said, is performing well. Ryan Tannehill has been better than Mariota ever since he took over. So I think the Titans against this Jaguars team that is struggling with Nick Foles coming back in, I think the Titans are going to win 24-17. Patriots and Cowboys. The Patriots barely snuck a win over the Eagles last week, and the Cowboys, well, Dak Prescott literally destroyed. He demolished the Lions. He threw for tons of yards, a couple touchdowns, and he didn't turn the ball over. So that's always a good job when you get that from your quarterback. And Tom Brady, even though he's leading this team with one loss, said last week that he's upset with the offense. And actually, I watched that game, and the offense really wasn't clicking. It was lots of punts in that game. So it's hard to say that the offense is struggling when you look at their record, but on paper, it probably is. And the defense is being the hero for New England. So that's the reason I believe they have that record. I believe if the defense wasn't as performing as well as it is, then I think they would have a couple more losses on their record. But the Cowboys seem to struggle against the better teams, especially good defenses like the Patriots. So I think even though the offense is lacking, I think Tom Brady and the Patriots and that defense will be able to overcome the Cowboys 24-20. Packers and 49ers. Packers were on a bye week, and 49ers looked like they were going to go down to the Cardinals. And Jimmy Garoppolo said, no. And he got the late touchdown to secure victory. And then when the Cardinals came back out to try and get that lead back, they turned the ball over. The 49ers scored again, and that kept the good record for the 49ers going. They only got that one loss to my Seahawks, baby. So this is going to be a good game. This is going to be great. It's really going to be a game for us to eye test the 49ers and really see if they can play good against the better teams. Because if they're going to keep this record, they're probably going to get into playoffs, and this game I feel like will let you know how good they will do in playoffs. So this is huge. If they perform well, then they could be looking good going into playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers is no quarterback that will go down easy. This dude is elite. He is a Super Bowl champion. He knows how to lead a team. So the Packers' talented offense versus the 49ers, pretty good offense, and their great defense. So it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. Make sure you tune in to watch this one. I think the Packers have many better weapons. Their running backs are performing better. Aaron Rodgers is the more elite, more legendary quarterback over Jimmy Garoppolo. And the defense of the 49ers could slow him down, but I don't think they can slow him down enough. So I think the Packers will win 30-23. Ravens and Rams, like I said, Lamar Jackson, he was running all over last week, just like he has been all season. It has been insane watching Lamar Jackson. This dude is entertainment just by himself. And the Rams, they got the win over the Bears, but they are still not looking like the Rams from last year. They did get Todd Gurley involved more, which is good. Looks like he's doing fine, and he could be going up for this team, getting more touches and doing more work. And why would you not let him get more touches? Because he is one of the best running backs in football. He's had his knee problems, but I think last week was really a test, and I think he passed that test, although I don't think the entire Rams team will pass this test. Lamar Jackson is so talented, so gifted, so athletic that I think he can really beat anyone at this point. He is looking so good at the quarterback position. It's allowing the rest of the team to perform just as good. So with this hot Ravens team going against the Rams, who have been kind of this season, I think the Ravens and Lamar Jackson can beat the Rams 30-17. If you made it to the end of this video, then comment down below who you think will win MVP this season. Is it Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, my dog, or is it Aaron Rodgers, or is it somebody else, Christian McCaffrey? Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your pets, your friends, everybody you know, and I will see you next time. I got this.